Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we're diving into Win Every Argument by Mehdi Hasan. Published in 2023, this book is a masterclass in the fine art of debate from one of the world's leading debaters. Mehdi Hasan, an award-winning journalist known for his fearless and incisive questioning, takes readers on an enlightening journey through the ages. Integrating ancient persuasive tactics, cutting-edge neuroscientific insights, and the rhetorical strategies employed by top politicians, Hasan provides a comprehensive guide for navigating and succeeding in the challenging discourse of today's post-factual society. Win Every ranked as his second publication, this book offers indispensable tools not only for seasoned debaters, but also for anyone eager to hone their persuasive skills, from public speakers to those simply looking to assert themselves more effectively in everyday conversations. Whether you're a dab hand at debating or a newcomer to the realm of persuasive dialogue, Win Every Argument serves as your essential playbook for turning the tide of discourse in your favor. Engage with Hasan's expertise as you too learn how to craft winning arguments in any situation. Win Every Argument: The Art of Debating, Persuading, and Public Speaking. Introduction. Discover the power of persuasive speech. Mehdi Hasan, a seasoned TV pundit and journalist, has spent his life mastering the art of argument. Engaging with world leaders and influential figures from the White House to the Saudi embassy, Hasan has not only honed his debating skills, but also passionately advocated for arguments as the essential pulse of democratic society. Through these spirited exchanges, we encounter fresh perspectives and address societal challenges, inching closer to truth, a principle echoed by the English philosopher John Stuart Mill, who insists that a comprehensive understanding of any issue requires familiarity with all arguments involved. Hasan doesn't just see arguing as an intellectual exercise. He recognizes it as a crucial life skill with substantial practical perks. It can propel your career and improve your circumstances. Echoing Winston Churchill's reverence for oratory, Hasan understands that the adept use of speech wields a power surpassing even the most formidable rulers. In this discussion, we will delve into why mastering the art of argument is not just about winning, but about enriching dialogues and making informed decisions. We'll also tackle some common myths about arguing to set the stage for becoming more persuasive and impactful in your own exchanges. Part 1. How to weave facts and feelings into compelling arguments. There's a saying that peppers our online landscape: facts don't care about feelings. This suggests an image of debate as a purely rational battlefield where evidence rules supreme and the superior argument always prevails. Yet history and ancient wisdom complicate this picture. The Greeks had a term, rhetoric, referring to the art of persuasive speech, which philosopher Plato criticized for its potential to mislead, whereas Aristotle acknowledged its power when combined with ethical reasoning and emotional appeal. Aristotle identified three pillars of persuasive speech. The first, ethos, highlights the speaker's credibility. We're naturally inclined to trust individuals with pertinent expertise over those without. Consider a medical doctor discussing vaccines over an anonymous internet source. However, as recent events have shown, the strength of ethos can sometimes waver, questioning how we evaluate expertise and authority. Next comes pathos, or the appeal to emotion. Aristotle understood that our judgments are heavily influenced by our emotional states. For instance, a doctor failing to convince a patient through credentials alone might instead share a poignant story of loss due to lack of vaccination, thus engaging the patient's emotions to make the case. Lastly, there's logos, the logical dimension of argument that leans on data and objective facts. In discussions on public health, for example, citing statistics about vaccine efficacy might appeal to our rational side, stressing the benefits in a clear, quantifiable manner. In modern debates, we often expect logos to carry the argument, given our high regard for data and evidence. Ideally, facts should stand on their own, shaping our decisions and beliefs. However, the reality of public discourse reveals that pure facts without emotional engagement often fail to resonate, leaving arguments to falter despite their logical strength. This is because human beings are not just rational creatures. We are profoundly influenced by our emotions. Recent cognitive research challenges the old dichotomy of reason versus emotion. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio, in his work, Descartes' Error, explores cases of individuals with damage to emotional processing centers in the brain. These individuals, stripped of emotional depth, struggled with decision making, indicating that emotions are not just embellishments on the process of reasoning, but integral to it. Damasio's insight that we are feeling machines that think underscores the necessity of emotions in rational decision making. So, what's the takeaway for winning arguments? To truly persuade and lead others to action, one must engage both the logical and emotional realms. This doesn't mean overriding reason with emotion, but rather understanding that connecting emotionally can pave the way for factual, logical information to be more readily received and accepted. In essence, an effective argument weaves together pathos and logos, ensuring that listeners are both intellectually convinced and emotionally moved. This holistic approach not only makes for more persuasive arguments, but also fosters a deeper understanding and acceptance of complex issues. Part 2. Harness the timeless power of storytelling for effective persuasion. In the realm of persuasion, engaging the hearts and minds of your audience is crucial. And what better way to do so than through storytelling? Human beings have been storytellers from the time they first drew shapes on cave walls. Evolutionary psychologist Robin Dunbar highlights that about two-thirds of our daily conversations involve storytelling, often in the form of gossip. Stories are not just entertainment. They are the fundamental way we understand and process the world around us. The impact of storytelling is profound and well researched. A study led by Deborah Small of the Wharton School found that people are more compelled to donate to charitable causes when presented with stories about identifiable victims rather than abstract statistics. For instance, hearing about the specific hardships of a child facing hunger is more likely to evoke empathy and prompt action than merely being presented with large-scale hunger statistics. This phenomenon showcases how effective storytelling can harness pathos, the emotional appeal, to bolster logos, the logical appeal. Charities have mastered this technique by using individual stories as representatives of broader issues, thus making the abstract tangible and urgently relatable. Storytelling brings abstract numbers and concepts down to the human level. It turns an impersonal statistic like 820 million people suffer from hunger into a visceral experience when relayed through the struggles of a relatable individual. This narrative technique not only ignites empathy within the listeners, but also leads them to a concrete realization and motivation to act, transforming an abstract moral principle into a personal commitment. When preparing to persuade or argue a point, regardless of the complexity or the nature of the topic, incorporating personal stories or discussing the tangible impact on real people can significantly enhance the persuasiveness of your argument. Real people, with their unique experiences and emotional depths, make your point vivid and memorable. Therefore, if you aim to prevail in debates or persuade effectively, remember to tell the stories of those impacted by the issues at hand. Narratives about individuals, with names, lives, and dreams, could be your most powerful tool in winning over your audience. Part 3. Navigating the delicate balance of attacking arguments, not the arguer. In many competitive sports like soccer or basketball, the common advice is to play the ball, not the man. This means focusing on the game and not on physically overpowering your opponent. Similarly, in the realm of debate and discussion, the conventional wisdom insists on tackling the argument rather than attacking the person making it. Engaging in personal attacks or using ad hominem arguments is generally frowned upon, equating to a foul in a sport. Philosophically, the person's character should not influence the validity of their argument. However, as Michael Austin, a noted rhetoric scholar, points out using an extreme example, even if a reprehensible figure like Adolf Hitler claimed the world was round, it wouldn't negate the truth of the statement. Despite this, real-world debates often diverge from this ideal. There are no referees in public discourse, and personal attacks can be surprisingly effective. A notable example is Donald Trump, whose ad hominem attacks during his campaign were pivotal in his ascent to the presidency, demonstrating the potency of this strategy. Facing this reality, we have several options. We could, like Trump, lean heavily into personal attacks to gain ground. Alternatively, we could commit to engaging solely with arguments, maintaining a high ground. Mehdi Hasan suggests a middle path, judicious, contextual use of ad hominem tactics. This approach aligns somewhat with Aristotle's concept of ethos, or the character-based appeal in persuasion. According to Aristotle, character can profoundly influence credibility, especially in scenarios lacking absolute certainty. What then if your own credibility is under attack? In such cases, using ad hominem could become a tool not just for defense but for leveling the playing field. Consider other situations like pointing out conflicts of interest or highlighting a glaring hypocrisy. These are not just attacks on a person, but are criticisms rooted in raising legitimate concerns about the integrity and ethics of the argument itself. Imagine reacting to a study downplaying climate change funded by fossil fuel interests. While the study's scientific claims should ideally stand on their own, the funding source can't be ignored as it casts doubt on the objectiveness of the findings. Similarly, exposing hypocrisy, such as a pro-life politician advocating privately for abortion, transcends mere personal criticism and touches the core of the ideological inconsistencies. Thus, while ad hominem attacks are generally seen as logical fallacies, they can also unveil deeper ethical and moral questions within the debate. Philosopher Alan Brinton reminds us that such arguments should be seen in the context of rhetoric, the art of persuasion rather than a strict logical science. Effective use of ad hominem, then, doesn't just distract, but can highlight critical inconsistencies and biases, enriching the debate. As we navigate discussions, it's crucial to discern when such tactics shift from needless personal attacks to legitimate critiques that reveal deeper truths about the arguments at hand. Final summary. The essence of winning an argument lies less in the distinction between right and wrong, and more profoundly in the skill of persuasion. It's a double-edged sword. On one side, this dynamic nature of argument exposes the process to manipulation, where individuals might use deceptive strategies to gain the upper hand. However, it's not a mere battle of wits disconnected from the truth. Effective argumentation intertwines the presentation of facts with the strategic appeal to the audience's emotions. It involves not only stating the facts, but also making them resonate with the listeners on a deeper, more personal level. Moreover, recognizing and challenging deceptive tactics or bad faith arguments is essential. This approach not only bolsters the integrity of the discussion, but also ensures that the truth, supported by solid reasoning and genuine appeal, has the best chance of prevailing. In essence, mastering the art of argument is about harnessing the power of persuasion with ethical responsibility and emotional intelligence, ensuring that the journey towards the truth is as compelling as the conclusion reached. This nuanced understanding of argumentation goes beyond mere victory and delves into the art of meaningful and impactful communication. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.